What's up, you guys? It's Abby, and today I'm here to bring you another video. And I just wanted to start off by saying, if you are new here, I am Abby Aslan, and I post videos every Monday and Friday. And I just post on lifestyle and college related things, so I would love it if you click the subscribe button to stick around and see more videos in the future. Yeah, today I just wanted to kind of talk about the things you do and do not need in college, because I think as freshmen everyone just kind of goes in and just goes overboard with the things they get, or maybe they don't get enough. And it's really important to just know what you do and don't need based on experience from other people. And I am someone that watched these videos and was like, oh, they say I don't need all my t-shirts, but I'm gonna bring all my t-shirts anyways, which was a huge mistake. So I just want to give you guys that advice and really encourage you to take the advice I have to give you. So without further ado, let's just get started. So I do have a list of things on my phone that I think you do and don't need, and I'm just going to be going based on that and kind of briefly talk about each one. But I was going to show you guys each thing, but everything is still kind of like packed away in another room, so I just don't want to unpack everything just to show you guys. But I can like link everything down below that I use, or just make a list if that makes it easier for you guys. Okay, so the first thing I think that you definitely need if you're going to college, whether you live in a like suite style dorm room or just the traditional community style dorm room, whatever room you're in, you need some kind of steamer. I don't recommend like going out and getting like a really expensive steamer or anything. I had a little mini steamer. It was like this big, and I just plugged it in the wall, filled it up with water, and steamed my clothes when they were wrinkly. And this helped so much because so many of my clothes were wrinkly like throughout the entire year. So I had to do that practically every morning, and you can get them for around like $20 at Bed Bath & Beyond. This one is kind of like not a necessity, but for me it was, and I just wanted to say it anyways. And for those of you who don't know, I did live in a suite style dorm room, which meant I had my own bedroom, like not sharing with anyone else, but then had like a common kitchenette and like living area space inside the room. And I did really need like a lamp. I had like a really small one on my desk that I had gotten from Hobby Lobby, but it like did not give off much light at all. And then I did have my overhead light like on the ceiling or whatever, but it was just like so like bright and yellow, and I hate that kind of lighting. But the reason why I say I needed a lamp is because a lot of times when I was studying, I didn't like having that harsh of a light above my head, because it would just make my eyes hurt and give me a headache if it was like 1 in the morning and I was studying. And a lot of times it was just nicer to have my floor lamp turned on, and I ended up not getting the floor lamp until like halfway through the year, but it did end up helping a lot. If you are a coffee drinker like I am and cannot function throughout your day without coffee, then I definitely think you need either a keurig, a coffee pot maker, a coffee maker, or some kind of cold brew maker, just because it's going to be really expensive if you try and just buy coffee every morning, and that's usually not the healthiest thing, and it takes up time. And I did have a keurig. I just had like the smaller one. I got it for graduation, and I used it literally every morning. And then some mornings I got a cold brew maker before I started school, and I got it for $20 from Target, and you basically just like put coffee grounds in the center of it and then fill it up with water, and then you let it sit overnight, and then you have cold brew in the morning. So if you do drink a lot of coffee, you definitely need that. And when you're gonna buy the K-Cups for the Keurig, don't go buy the individual boxes at the store. Go to Sam's Club and get a 100 pack for like $25. I ended up doing that not until like my spring break, I think, and I don't know why I didn't do that earlier, because I wasted so much money throughout the year on getting more K-Cups. No one has ever really said this one before, but I found it a big problem for me. I do think you need some extra phone chargers. There was literally 1 week of school, and I had 2 phone chargers with me at school, and both of them broke in the same week. And for some reason, I don't remember why, I couldn't go out and get another one like that night. I think it was maybe because it was just so late in the night. And I literally like just didn't have a phone charger, and it was just, that's just really hard to deal with, and I'm sure any of you can imagine that. But definitely bring some backup phone chargers, or at least know in the back of your head, hey, I need to go invest in just like maybe a cheap replacement one, and I think that that can help you out a lot. Next thing I think you definitely need is some sort of planner or calendar. You don't have to go out and buy an expensive one. You can get one from Walmart or Target, or you can even use the calendar on your phone. Whatever it is, you need one, and there's no way you're gonna get through college without using one, just because you're gonna have so many tests and like different classes, different homework due on different days, events and like meetings, and you just simply cannot remember all of it. Like, I use a planner, and I still had times when I forgot about my homework being due, so that tells you like how much you really need one. But yeah, I just think it's very important to have a way to keep up with everything that you need to get done. You 100% also need some kind of laundry basket. I had a like laundry hamper, and then I also had a white like typical laundry basket, and I used the laundry hamper to store all my dirty clothes, and then whenever I would need to wash my clothes, I took that up and washed them. But you need some kind of laundry basket, just because if you're carrying like a detergent and like fabric softener and your clothes, it's actually a lot easier to carry it like in a typical laundry basket than it is to carry it in like a hamper with 2 straps, because it's really hard to carry like all the way like up the stairs or whatever. So a laundry basket is definitely helpful, and a tip for moving in and moving out, use that laundry basket to just put things in, and then that way it reduces the amount of trips you have to take with your stuff if you can just put things in the laundry basket and use it as a way to transport stuff. I also think it's really important to have a reusable water bottle, just because it's not good for the environment if you're just buying a ton of water bottles and leaving them out and then trashing them when you're halfway drinking them. I think it's best to just get some kind of like Camelback or Contigo water bottle that's really good and that will last you a while, and maybe have like 2 or 3 of them, but you don't need like 5. I literally took like 5 or 6 and it was so stupid, but just get 1 or 2 and take it to school with you. And my school at Alabama, they have like water filter stations that are basically like a water fountain, but it just puts out filtered water. So you just stick your bottles under that, and then you have your water for the day, and it saves you money by not having to go buy bottles of water all the time. If your style is anything like mine, which I think most girls just wear these in general, most girls wear Nike shorts, and I think that if you're going to college, you need a lot of them. My thing is that I had like 6 pairs of them, but I ended up only really liking 3 pairs of them because I didn't realize that the style and like the length and cut of my other 3 pairs were different, and I don't like the shorter ones at all. Like, I like them to be longer. And I definitely think you need Nike shorts, because there were so many times when I was like so mad that I didn't have any clean, and I didn't want to do any laundry, and I didn't have time to do any laundry. And that's just one thing that you need Nike shorts. Like, over the summer, just get a pair like every 2 weeks to reduce the cost or something, and then you can have a ton to go with you. Another thing you need is a rain jacket or some kind of shoes that you can get wet, because if you live anywhere where it rains even just a little bit, you're gonna need them. I know in Tuscaloosa we had like a drought the entire fall, and it did not rain for literally so long, but in the spring it rained like practically the entire time. And I just have a very basic like North Face black jacket, and I got it on sale at an outlet. And then I have just some Hunter rain boots, but I have the short ones, and I got them on Amazon for a lot cheaper. So I definitely think it's important to get those, because if you're having to walk the class, you don't want to get your clothes super wet and ruin them, and then you don't want to ruin any shoes either. So it's best to just go ahead and get some form of rain jacket and rain shoes, no matter where it's from. I also think you definitely need a pair of sunglasses. It doesn't have to be like an expensive pair of Ray-Bans or anything, but I think it's really important, just because you will be walking to class like early in the morning, and the sun is just going to be like so bright on your eyes, and you're just going to be squinting, and that's just like not fun. So I think it's just a good thing to have when you go to college, because of the amount of times that you will be outside walking to class. I also think you need some kind of laptop. It doesn't have to be a super nice one, but you're going to need one. I don't understand how like people survive college without them, just because of the amount of times that you study in places other than your room. And I just think it's really good to have, because they're portable and you can take them with you anywhere, and they're just really convenient to have. I have the MacBook Pro 13-inch Retina display, and I have like the second to last smallest storage on mine, and I love it so much. And I got it like 2 years ago, and it's just, I use it literally every day, and it's so important in college. Some guys might not think you need this, but for girls, I definitely think you need a full-length mirror. I went to school and I just had this mirror right here actually, and that's the only one I had, and I did not have a full-length one. So I never could really tell like if my shoes matched my outfit or anything. But that was kind of hard. I would just have to like squat down in my mirror, and if you just go to Target or Walmart and get like a $5 mirror and stick it on the back of your door with some command strips, then you're good to go, and that's all you need. Speaking of command strips, you're definitely going to need a ton of them for school, because most of the times I know dorm rooms have a certain limit on the number of holes you can put on your wall. I think Alabama, they only let us have like 4 holes in our wall, and I definitely did a little bit more than that. But you're gonna need command strips to hang everything up, and it just makes the whole process of taking things down and putting things up a lot easier. And last but not least, for the things you do need for school, is a suitcase. I think this is important, but not something everyone thinks of, just because some people may think this is common sense. But I definitely needed a suitcase. I took 2 like big duffel bags of clothes to school, but then I realized when I was going home for Christmas I needed a suitcase because for some reason I ended up with way more clothes, and I think it was just because each time I went home I brought more back, and I just needed a suitcase, and it makes moving out easier too. So definitely take a suitcase with you and put some clothes in it instead of just using duffel bags. Okay, so now for the things you do not need in college, or things that I think you personally do not need. First thing is a ton of clothes, like all your high school t-shirts, every sweatshirt you own. Like, you don't need all of that. I didn't take any high school shirts to school just because I didn't think I'd wear them. I mean, they're high school shirts, but I did take a few just to wear in my sleep that were like bigger and comfier. But you do not need every single t-shirt you have. I literally saw this like all the time everywhere whenever I was looking at these videos and like blog posts and stuff on things you don't need, and I literally did not listen just because I was like, oh, but I want a variety of t-shirts to wear, so I'm gonna take most of mine. I probably took like 25 t-shirts to school, and I wore these same like 10 or 11 shirts, maybe even less than that, and I just rotated through those. So please listen to me when I say do not take all your t-shirts, only take some, and then whenever you go home during the semester, just take some of them home and then switch them out for other ones just to make things a little bit different. But trust me, you do not need all of them, and you don't need every single sweatshirt you have either. I took like 6 to school and I ended up wearing the same 2 all the time, so it's just a waste of space and it makes packing and unpacking a lot worse. You also do not need a ton of shoes. I brought all kinds of shoes to school, and there are probably like 9 pairs that I literally did not wear once. I took like 3 pairs of wedges and 4 pairs of tennis shoes and 2 pairs of sandals, a pair of flip-flops, a pair of slippers, and that was just like way too much. I ended up only wearing 1 pair of the wedges. 2 pairs I did not wear once, and I think if you were in a sorority you might get more use out of that, but I wasn't personally, and I was able to just wear my other wedges all the time just because I didn't wear them that often. And you don't need a ton of pair of tennis shoes. 2 pairs or 3 pairs is fine. But yeah, just don't take every pair of shoes you have because you're not gonna really need them. You also do not need to take all of your like shower stuff. You don't need a ton of different kinds of shampoo. You don't need a ton of different kinds of body wash. You don't need a ton of different kinds of lotion, and you don't need a ton of different kinds of makeup. Just take your necessity things. Take 1 thing of shampoo and conditioner. Take maybe 2 or 3 bottles of lotion depending on how big there are, and then just take some of your makeup, the kind that you know you're only gonna wear, just because all that stuff does take up a lot of space. And as far as packing and unpacking, it is a whole other bag in itself. You also don't need to take a ton of dishes. I know that if you are in like a community style dorm, this might not really be relevant to your situation, but for me, since I did have a kitchenette, I was able to store some of my dishes, and I pretty much just had like 2 bowls and 2 small plates and 2 big plates. And then I had like 4 coffee mugs and 2 or 3 each of like a spoon, fork, and knife. And that's really all you need, especially if you're going to be in the suite style dorm, just because you aren't going to want to wash a ton of dishes all the time, and it's just a lot easier if you only do a few and wash them as soon as you get done with them. If you're living in a suite style dorm, you do not need your own mini fridge or microwave, just because the dorm room comes with a full-size fridge and a microwave already, and that is if your dorm room does come with that if you're in a suite style. I know Alabama's do. But if you're in a community style dorm, I would definitely talk to your roommate and say, hey, do you want to get the microwave and I'll get the mini fridge, or vice versa. You both aren't going to need one. I just think that's really excessive, and it's a waste of money and waste of space. And just really talk to your roommate about it if you are going to be in a community style dorm. And if not, then just don't even worry about getting a microwave or mini fridge. You also do not need a ton of like nice furniture to go in your room. I know some people think that you need like some like nice chairs and like a couch or a futon maybe, and then just like other stuff. But in reality, just deck your bed out. Like just go hard on your bed, and you're gonna spend a lot of time in your bed, so just make sure it's nice and comfortable and presentable. And then for the rest of your room, I would just say you don't need that much at all. It's just going to be a lot of space taken up, and it'll be hard to unpack it and pack it and just transport it back and forth whenever you're moving in and moving out. Some people may not agree with me on this one, but I don't think you really need a TV. I just watch Netflix and Hulu on my computer if I ever did watch TV, and I honestly didn't watch it that much. I watched a few different series, but I pretty much binge watched them, so it really didn't take that long for me to finish them. but you really don't need to invest in a TV in your room, and then it's going to be a whole other story trying to figure out where you're going to put it. So I just wouldn't worry about getting a TV. And the last thing is mainly just a piece of advice rather than something you don't need. I don't think you need to go out and spend like a ton of money on the decor and like just all the things you're getting for your room. My mom told me just don't like go spend a ton of money on your dorm room because you're going to be living in an apartment next year. So why don't we invest in your apartment instead of investing in your dorm room that you're going to be in for 9 months? Which is so true because I'll be in my apartment for 3 years. So it's more of an investment and it makes more sense to put more money into it. So really just don't worry about investing a ton of money into your dorm room, getting a ton of expensive stuff, and then just not even using it the rest of college. So definitely just get the cheapest stuff you can. Check out TJ Maxx, Marshalls, Home Goods, consignment stores, any thrift stores. You can find a lot of good stuff for a very low price, and I think that will help you save a lot of money in the long run with your dorm room. And that is it for today's video. I hope it was super helpful for you all going into college, and I hope you guys liked it. So give it a thumbs up if you did enjoy it, and be sure to subscribe if you aren't already so you can see more college videos in the future, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.